a little out of tune this morning. So we'll come back into tune here. Good morning. Thank you for joining me as we start our morning out, saying good morning to our guitars. Good to see you, Kevin. Good to see you, friend. Thank you for being here. Robbie Smith. Good morning, Robbie. Uncle Jason's in the house. Good morning, Mr. Tortorello. Hello, everybody. I think the A is there. Let's go ahead and take a look at the 440. And another 440. Just getting started. Good morning, Raul. Thank you so much for the thoughtful emails. And here we go. Is that good? I see that we have a nice A440. We may come back to that as we start to jump on this morning. I thought that today's the day where we finish up our minor pentatonic sort of work. We have minor pentatonic work that we're doing, like we've been doing over the span of the week, starting in just because we're starting in the sort of like the A minor pentatonic area, we've generally been observing an approach to just pentatonic, planing pentatonics across the guitar neck, and that's a very simple approach. And so we started with position number 1. We went into position number 2, which is major pentatonic. Position number 3, which is an altered format of pentatonic. And then we covered position 4 yesterday. And then today we'll be taking a look at position number or pattern number 5. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started with tuning up today. I'm just working on my breath. My breath's not exactly where I'd like it to be. Oh, okay. Anthony, your gig is next Friday. Yeah, did you say you had another gig this weekend too, right? Doing like with a DJ? Did I miss that? I think I missed that in the chat yesterday. Gray, good morning. So if you're just tuning up, this is a brand new name here in the live chat. Gray, G-R-A-E. Good morning, and thank you for saying hello. If you're just tuning in, what we're doing is a morning ritual for guitar growth. It really is the equivalent of seeking personal growth through the expansion of guitar practice. Just working on improving our becoming guitar practitioners. And, well, I guess maybe we're already guitar practitioners, but improving that situation. And we're here every weekday morning at 7:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we go through this breath warm-up, just getting in tune with our body, with the temple, and then basically, removing noise from our practice session. Tuning up is a big part of this. So if you're here without a guitar, you can easily bring a guitar. Most of us are here with guitars, and we're working through the benefit of meeting 5 days a week for the entire year of 2025, which in turn produces, it will yield 200, no, just around 260 hours of practice time by the end of this year. By the end of this year, we should be able to look back on the first session we joined and the last session of the year. What we'll do is we'll compare how far we've come, what our improvements are. We'll compare then with the end of 2025, and we'll go ahead and do sort of a comparative analysis to see what exactly we got. How much bang do we get for the buck? I mean, this is a free situation. I mean, it's not costing you anything except for your seat time. And the seat time, is really the most expensive part of it, right? Because my wife and I, we were talking about this last night. Like, you just can't get your time back. You're right. We're not able to, so time is sort of a slightly guarded resource in my world, but so we try to stay on track. We try to stay on time, on target, and we'll just start right now. So if you're here with a guitar, we'll go ahead and start with alternate picking, which is 60 beats per minute would typically be just the downstrokes or upstrokes, depending on what you would like to be working on at the moment. But what we're doing is we're working on a composite synthesis of the two down and upstrokes. Good morning, Jason. Am I late today? Yuda, how are you? You're right on time. You're always arrive when you're intended to be arriving. I'm in a constant state of arrival. Here we go. So, good morning, Mr. Husband. Dan, good morning, crew. Love it. Mark, sipping the bean. Good morning, crew. David May. We have a couple new faces here. I'm not sure if you all could help me. So we're here from Montreal, Canada. Canadians here in the house. Yeah, this is a beautiful thing. I just made some crepes, the other morning for the family, and then we just sort of have a beautiful crepe recipe. So we like to do being of that descent, we fully appreciate those breakfast foods. Starting with fingers 3 and 4. And if you're just joining us, I wanted to welcome you to the morning ritual. And without further ado, let's just jump on. 1E and a 2E and a TE and a 𝗲𝗍 and a... So this is what we're doing. We're ascending the position and then descending the position, changing position, ascend, descend the position, and then descend the pattern. And it's really just basic stuff, but we're starting with fingers 3 and 4 because one of my short-term goals is to get that third and that fourth, especially that fourth finger, doing the work that it's intended to do. Just balancing out the power that fourth finger has. The Guess Who's from Canada. Very nice. Yeah. How about Mr. Lightfoot? Mr. Lightfoot's sort of like the Canadian Bob Dylan, right? You guys get into him at all? How about Bruce Cockburn? Mr. Cockburn's one of my all-time favorite writers, and when we were driving back from Alaska, I guess he's an Alberta resident, last time I heard. I'd like to take a drive over and meet the fella. So fingers 2 and 3, and 1E and a 2E and a 𝗲𝗍. I'd probably be met at the gate with rifles and turned back. So we're just moving along. We like to keep the conversation rolling, even though it's likely that we're here to practice. If you're with a guitar and playing along, or if you're here without a guitar, observing and absorbing some of these things to introduce and absorb into your own morning progress, that's just as well either way. Next week we'll be talking, we're completing Pentatonic week, so at the end of this session we'll review all of the stuff that all of the progress we've made hither, and then what we'll do is we have one more pattern to add to so that we can complete our work week of pentatonics. So here we go, fingers 1 and 2, 1 and a 𝗕𝗍 and a you know what to do. Oh, putting on my 𝗕cie. There we go, putting on my 𝗕cie. And frets 11 and 12. I've come to the term, I've arrived at a place recognizing that this is not for everyone, and that's okay. But if it's for you, you're definitely, and if you have friends or bandmates who would like to practice rudiments with us, you know, or fundamentals along with us, you know, basically a complete version of a warm-up process, so that if you're heading off into the studio or working on songwriting or getting ready for your gig later today or that day, or if you're just wanting to observe, we're here every weekday morning at 7:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for the entire year of 2025. And my guess is we'll have quite a guitar family, a fretboard family at the end of it all, I think. So let's go ahead and expand that into one of the things we're doing. One small reason, you know, why I'm doing this is because I have a Ted Green's chord chemistry. I'm walking page by page, chord by chord, word by word through the late great Mr. Green's chord chemistry book on my channel. There's a playlist dedicated to chord chemistry, you know, possibly the greatest guitar book ever written, I guess. You know, we all have opinions and we like to share them. So, but it is what it is, and some of those chords are very demanding. So what I've done is we're going to include, you know, basic finger stretches here, so that if you are following along and you really want to get through the whole book, this is just another place to try to just another touch point which can add value to the work that we're doing to get through this this monumental sort of like masterpiece of a work, musical work, Ted Green's chord chemistry. So these finger stretches are important. And fingers 3 and 4, frets 10 and 12, yeah. And a 2E and a 60 beats per minute, go. Loser, that's great. That's one of my favorite tunes. Love Bruce. Oh yeah, right. You're a finger stylist too. You must, yeah. Love Bruce. Awesome guitar. Thank you kindly. I wish I could say I built it, but I did not. It's the ES339. It's the 335, but you know, smaller, pretty much. I like the 335, but the bow, you know, and the waist is a little. It's just the guitar is a little too. It's perfect in every way, but it's, you know, this is my preference. It's a little smaller, a little tighter, a little, you know, still semi-hollow. You know, the block running through the middle. So it's a really fun guitar to play, and it can hook onto a feedback loop like you read about. Like you can make these tones last forever. So fingers 2 and 3, 1E and a 2E and a po and all my shoes. You know, I've kind of doing a synthesis, a composite of multiple count-ins here. So I'll always try to give us two bars up front in case that, you know, in the situation that you are actually bringing your guitar, showing up for some seat time with all of us. The idea is that we're all here practicing the guitar together, alone together, and we're just working the, you know, the breath. You'd never know it that I'm working on breath by the way I talk all the time, but you can, you know, focus on, here we go, in and out. Here we go, 4 in. Or more out. All right, so we're looking at fingers 1 and 2 now. 1, 10 and 12, and a 𝗐𝗐 and a 𝗏𝗏 on my 𝗐𝗐. All right, here we go, 10 and 12. 2, ready, go. 3rd and 4th finger without the pointer finger at neighbor's house. Yeah, 3rd and 4th finger without the pointer finger pointing at the neighbor's house. It is tough, and I'm trying to keep all my fingers sort of parked, but it does, like fingers 2 and 3 to me really wreck me, really destroy any ego that I had left. It just takes it and stomps on it. Do you know what I mean? That fingers 2 and 3 are my bane. I really need to spend an 8-hour day for about 3 months to really sort this out. But I do have other things to get on to, so, you know, life is full of decisions, and every little decision we make is a contributing factor to who we become. And then some of those drummers, like Mr. Michael Shree from Santana was talking about, like, you are literally everything that you play. What you play is literally who you are, right? So let's take a look at fingers 2, 3, and 4. Let's keep the show on the road. How are we doing this morning, by the way? Yeah, oh, last day in this room, right? So this is the last day in this room. This is now going to be converted into the walk-in pantry. Maybe I'll give you a photograph of it when it's all said and done, where we started. Now, next week, you get to see my old Victrola. We're going to move this show into the parlor next week. We like to call it the parlor because there's no television, and a couple other sofas and a Victrola. So maybe we'll get a look at that stuff next week. I'm sure we'll get a look at that stuff next week because that's where I'll be starting from. So let's take a look at 10, 11, and 12. Fingers 2, 3, and 4. 1 E and a 2 E and a T E and a 4 E. Yeah, that Victrola gives, you know, meaning to the words, the phrase wound for sound. I finally get back here to see you. Izzy, Reels Fishing. Ooh, fishing. Yeah. Dior. 7-string. I don't have a 7-string. I really would like to have one, though. Finally get back here to see you. Yeah, you know, if you're not fishing, come over here and hang out with the guitar. That's right. Are you a stream fisherman, lake fisherman? How does that work for you? Boat, lake, you know, stream, waders. What are you doing? Kind of avoiding those bank beavers. Glad to have you back. The stretching has definitely made some chords doable. I saw that comment the other day, Kevin, and I'm really happy that you're exceeding your expectations, I think. I hope. I don't know, maybe you set pretty high expectations like me and you just live in you know, consummate status of failure. But so I think it's a good idea to set those lofty goals this is really just basically, you know, on-ramping for the rest of the guitar day. We're in the studio for the remainder of the day, often as we do. So 1 E and a 2 E and fingers 1 and 2 and 3. Oh yeah, yeah, it's like making laps around the racetrack, yeah, in a race car. Yeah, and I mean, you don't really understand the track, nor do we understand the car, unless we put the seat time in, right? We can't feel like when the car is getting ready. We would never know to what extent we could push an automobile, you know, a finely tuned race car to the point where it's just getting ready to peel out from underneath us, and then reach that point and know that we can't go any further without sustaining injury. It really is an amazing life, isn't it? All of the ways to appreciate and walk right up to the edge and look down and say, I got you, I got you. Just love the way that so many modes for expression in life. You know, like public displays of art on bridges, you know what I mean? Like the cultural expression that just shows up everywhere. But that individual expression is sort of like the development of the language that brings us to higher places. You know, to quote a David Crosby song, we have that song Charlie. Anybody know that song Charlie? That's a great song. And let's take a look at fingers 2 and 4. Now we're going to stretch these puppies. All right, frets 9 and 12, 1 and a 2 E and a you know what to do. I know I'm making good progress when I stop focusing on my fret hand and still keep. Oh yeah, that's a good feeling right there, friend. Dan, that's a wonderful place to be. Hey, 𝗵𝗲 back in the house here. My favorite saying in life is nothing but a series of choices. That's one of my favorites. In a constant state of arriving or being right here, right now. Just those simple things. The guitar or studying really any fine art or sport at high level is places us, you know, squarely in the moment. And that's the only way that we can continue along, is if we continue to make the choice, yes, I will participate here, right now, for the rest of eternity. So that is a really interesting point, 𝗵𝗲. I just play some days not so good, some days not so good. I set goals, but with expectations. So like realist, you know, I think that works. That's realistic, not so good. I use a 𝗍𝗲 too. Yeah, 1 E and a 2 E and a T E and a. You fishing like the Great Lakes, or are you fishing like, do you just tour around? Or I probably should check out your channel. You probably have an established fishing channel that I should probably check out. We like bushwhacking into the places that no one goes, you know what I mean? We like finding those places, you know, hauling in the rubber rafts. You know, you have the old LL Bean, you know, dry bags that were like, will hold, I don't know, 20 gallons, and you just hump water in, you know, so you have something potable to drink for the week. And then you're talking about like, you know, you're out for a few weeks, you know what I mean? So, but we usually troll the, if we're trolling, we've got the 10 horse or 20 horse Johnson, but something that'll idle right down to about a, you know, 1.5 miles an hour. And then that's where the, that's also where the the Wonder Womans and Supermans will start to do it. If you're on the drift boat and like on the Kenai, that's a whole different story, right? So let's go ahead and take a look at fingers 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and we're just building that up. We're gradually building. After this sequence of 1, 2, 3, 4, we'll do the stretch with the fourth finger. We'll go back and do the stretch with the first finger. We'll do all of those, and then we'll take a break and stretch and have a little a breather and a sip, and we'll catch up together and say hello and see what we've got going on over the weekend. All right, 1 E and 2 fingers, 1, 2, 3, 4, go. Oh, time to like. How many likes do we have? Oh, we've got 14 likes already. It's like we're superstars or something here, you know? This is pretty cool. I thought about, you know, putting a bunch of just junky clothes on and sitting here with a tip jar and a poor looking face. We'll work for likes. I wonder, you know, you do wonder, there's probably a market for that somewhere, I guess. Let's take a look at, we were wondering also about labels. Did you see what Mr. 𝗣𝗲𝗏 was saying like recently about record labels? Really interesting stuff. How we, it's sort of like, now we're in charge of like literally everything instead of having a label do any artist development. I think that's an interesting change from when we were younger, for certain. I use boat, bank fish too. I grew up on the west coast of Canada. Ah, yeah. So deep water salmon fishing on the ocean was always my zen place. Oh man, you are, man. What a beautiful. I drove down through that whole province, and when we got to Calgary, we just we headed east, and we drove the entire Route 1 back. And that Route 1, I'll tell you what, that is a long road, dude. That we were thinking about dropping down into the lower 48 and then hitting the parks. That would have added a month onto our trip. Do you know what I mean? What a beautiful country to tour through. What a beautiful country to witness. That whole Canadian West Coast is just a ungodly beautiful experience. That was where I was born, a bluegrasser. I don't know if you guys knew that about me, but up until that point, I had nothing to do with bluegrass, and I'll tell you that story again at some point. Some of you have already heard it. So let's go ahead and do the 1, 2, 3, 4 with a stretch on the fourth finger. 2, 3, and a 4 E and a. And we're descending. We're just descending. Here we go. Breathing too. Breath is important. 𝗲𝗲 Reels, your channel is great. Oh, you beat me to the punch. Good morning, Guitar for everyone. Great to see you here this morning. Marlon, good morning. Nice to see everybody. I'm glad you could be here. This is the last day we're doing we'll be in this room. Next week, we'll be starting fresh in the parlor. We'll have, you know, it's almost like we'll be in a cigar bar. You know, I won't be smoking any cigars or sipping on the bourbon this time of day, but I will be in the parlor with you all next week, and we'll have the, you know, Victrola. We'll be able to take a look at the Victrola, which is kind of a fun thing to do. The kids come over, even the adults in the family love to come and visit, and they love to put the crank on it and just wind it up, and then we've got 100 or so 78s, the shellac 78s, and it's just a beautiful thing to experience. Your videos will look great to the sounds of Denim Dennis. There you go. He's not lying. Gave you a sub, Izzy. So, Jody, what are your thoughts on artists who only know how to make music with a laptop? So, let's take a look at that. Let's examine that. Wow. Thanks for being here, Jody, and thank you for asking that question. That's a really wonderful approach to now you're really going to test. You're really going to test something here. Wow. Good question. So 1E, let's get started and then we'll just kind of respond to that a little bit. Maybe we can all probably easily weigh in on that, I think. 1E and a 2E and a 1 stretch, go. Yeah, and then, you know, it's just like I'm feeling like I could go slower, faster. I could go, you know, just I could go ahead and just be observant of what I am actually doing now. So how's that for an approach? So making music with a laptop. Oh, you actually make music from... See, what I would have done is I would have asked the question, let me answer it, and then told me that you were a laptop music maker. I have a brother who is a laptop music maker, and he built a digital, like a digital studio, the music with, it's all like musical instrument digital interface, MIDI. You know, he wired all of his instruments together in real time, and he's somewhat of like a sort of like a guru, I guess, to me. He's one of the top 5 smartest people I know, and you know, I don't know many people, so that might not be giving him a really big chunk, but I guess I know a fair number of people. But he's, you know, to his credit, he really did that in 3 months, and it took, to me, I've seen other people do it, you know, and from 0 to 60, take them a year or two, you know, at least a semester just to absorb the basic principles of it. And, you know, he was into production in 3 months, so I thought, he's got something figured out. And he really enjoys what he's doing there. So I said stretch, so why don't we go ahead and stretch, and then we'll come right back to this warm-up. We'll continue the warm-up. And it's really cool to know that we have someone in the chat who is a motherboard musician. A motherboard musician. That's an interesting concept. A motherboard musician on this channel. So here's the finger stretch, and 15 clicks. Anybody have any input on this? Oh, there we go. You have to make whatever you can with whatever you have. No judgment on the laptop. But you may want to explore instruments as well. It's a whole different tool set. How do you play Elvis Presley? Oh, good question. So let's just get some stretching done. The motherboard musician. 𝗣𝗲𝗄 bouncing ball. Have you heard that? Are you familiar with that piece of work? The Aphex Twins. Have you heard that? Anybody heard that? Jody, check out the Aphex Twins. I'd love. Do you have some work on your channel that you can share with us? I think a lot of that. I think very highly of the laptop musician, like the Mike Realm, like the people like Mike Realm, and I don't know if how far DJ Shadow has kind of come into that picture. I know that I don't know a lot about it, but what I do know about, like inputting MIDI drums, for example, I have some friends like Paul Cherry. Are you familiar with Paul Cherry's band? So some friends tour with Paul Cherry, and it's like the wave, whatever vaporwave stuff. Really beautiful, beautiful music. I'm not saying that they do that, but I know I have friends who, you know, the drummer will, instead of record a drum kit, will enter the drum parts, you know, in the box, and then ship those drum parts all over the planet for, you know, if he's asked or she's asked to track something. And then where I'm trying to understand is the difference between in MIDI there's only 127 noticeable differences, right? And for dynamics or whatever programmatic things, you know, adjustments we want to throw at it. So I do know that the ear, the human ear, so if you introduce MIDI, which is 127 different values per note. So let's say I have a snare drum or a, you know, I've got an oscillating pattern, I can change that up to, you know, I have a dynamic range of like 127 values, right? So I have from 0 to 127. And the ear, the human ear hears over 1,500 JNDs, or just noticeable differences, right? So would most people even know or perceive the difference, you know? Would most people, unless you're like a really well-trained, world-class, like your ear training skills have, you've taken years and decades to, you know, train your ears to listening and appreciating. I'm not sure, you know, most of us would even, the layperson would even recognize that it's not an actual drum kit. Do you know what I mean? I think if you, especially with the, you know, this quality of samples that are happening currently, I don't think that, you know, it really matters. I'm going to tend to agree with what I've read in a flash. You have to do what you can with, you know, what you can with what you have. And then music is music. Aphex Twins is great. Yeah. 𝗣𝗲𝗄𝐴 bouncing ball. One of the faves, you know, guitar for everyone. My go-to for music production is DAW. Do you see where DAWs are going to be called GAWs? Has anybody heard? Instead of digital audio workstation, it's going to be called a generative audio workstation. Anybody familiar with that? 1E and a 2, a gray, yeah. I just got an interface and mic to start recording songs. Excellent move, yeah. So we've got another writer right here. 1E and a 2, we're using fingers 1, 2, 3, 4. Invert those, 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're ascending 1, 2, 3, 4, descending 1, 2, 3, 4. Descend the position 4, 3, 2, 1, and then 4, 3, 2, 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 3, 2, 1, 4, 3, 2, 1. But what I'm doing here is down, up in the picking hand. Yeah. That's where we're trying to keep it nice and steady. You know, it's sometimes I get excited when I reach the high E string, I want to smash into it. That actually chokes the sound on most of the guitars that I have. So I try to just keep the, you know, if you listen to Django Reinhardt, you know, you have these really long passages, you know, where you kind of run into a note, and then, you know, a high note, and you can bust the string off the guitar. But what I'm trying to do here in this exercise is really just talk about nice, even technique, even dynamic range, even dynamic level. I hope we didn't lose Jody. Are you still here? And 1E and a 2, 9, 10, 11, 12, go. One of my favorite memories was seeing people dance to my music. That's a great memory. I was a drummer in the band. I'm sure the same feeling would come from your laptop. Yeah, I think Mark Ronson's a DJ, right? He's kind of like spreading joy. I mean, I think there are a lot of people doing it at a grand scale. That it's, you know, there are some masters and some mentors to study for sure and imitate in the beginning, you know. And 4 middle strings. 1E and a 2E and a 4E and a da. 4 middle strings. On what DAW do you use? Guitar for Everyone. Do you write or produce songs, Jason? I do. And at gray, I use Cakewalk by BandLab. Currently Cakewalk, yeah. But may switch one day. I'm new here, sorry, I don't know. No, it's great. Keep asking the questions. That's kind of what this is about. There are, what we find is there are a lot of guitar players from all over the planet who are very highly skilled in their own sort of, we're all highly skilled sort of in our own ways, right? And then that's, you know, we'll take that with a grain of salt, because I'm including myself in that situation, and you know, I may or may not be highly skilled, you know what I mean? It's all, I'm better than some and worse than others, put it that way. 1 E and a 2 E and a bottom 4 strings, and this live chat is here to generate interest, maintain interest, and cultivate exactly what you're talking about, Gray. There are touring bands, guitarists from touring bands, and there are, you know, some of us are campfire guitar players, but we're all people with at least an enthusiast level of interest in the guitar. And we're here all year long through 2025 working the magic. So we're just going to transition now. We started with minor pentatonic, or the pentatonics this week. We had shape number 1, which we're going to work through. Shape number 1 is 1-4, 1-3, 1-3, 1-3, 1-4, 1-4. And you can, if it's something that you would like to keep up with, 1 E and a 2 E, let's go, 9, 10, 11, 12. If you are having any difficulty at all with approaching this speed with which we're playing this exercise, you can go back and you can view this video on demand, because we leave the live chat intact. We leave all of this up so that it's like you're watching a live video, participating in a live video, but we can go back and watch it at half speed or quarter speed. So that's really interesting stuff to me. That's the way I would learn all of the things that were slightly out of my reach when I was younger, and still, you know, I guess it applies to today still. The only difference now is I'm totally mentally prepared to slow everything way down to the point where it might be mind irritating to some, right? So the slow down is really important. And the second shape was 2-4, 1-4, 1-4, 2-4, 1-4, 1-4, and then 1-3, 2-4, 2-4, 2-4, 1-4, 1-4, 1-3, 2-4, 2-4. And we're going ahead we're just going to go full steam ahead and do this. We're planing this, the second exercise, up and down. We'll go through 3 and 4, and we're introducing the final one today, pattern number 5. Super easy. 1 E and a 2 E and a, you know what to do. E and a. So it's 2 and T and 4. Ooh, a little altered pentatonics going on there. Sun's out, guns out, man. That's what I say. Oh, I have a SoundCloud under Tears in My Cup. My most popular work is Cage of Bones. I also have a version of Lana Del Rey's Dark Paradise that is all piano with a cappella vocals. Time for me to tap out. Have a great weekend. See you all Monday. See you, Dan. Travel well, friend. Gray rapture is what keeps me from moving to another DAW at the moment. It's so sick. Mac McKenzie, you can develop your skill on Pentatonic. How can you develop your skill on Pentatonic? Well, so here's one thing that we're doing just by playing pentatonics is helpful to me because it's intuitively we're omitting in pentatonic, in the traditional pentatonic format, whether it's major pentatonic, we have this, you know, just we're omitting the 4 and the 7, so it's by nature like more melodic. It's a more melodic scale to learn. And so pattern number 3 is a little different. So we have fingers 1 3 1 3 1 3, stretch 4 3 1 4 1 3, 1 3 1 3 1 3 4, stretch that 4. G string is only string with one finger on it, and then 1 4 1 3. And then breaking the scale down into patterns, all of that pattern, any pattern or permutation that you can dream up is probably worth practicing somehow. Oh yeah, if you wanted to just shove a few more likes on it, smash that like button would be helpful. And 1E and a 2E, pattern 3 in, go. Here we go. Bredos, people. So what's up? Good morning. Lefty Madrid. Nice to see another lefty. Well, I have a little secret there. Oh, here we go. 1E and a 2E and a top of the pattern. This pattern is definitely not my most comfortable. All right, next pattern is pattern number 4. All right, we're starting with flat 7 1. All right, let's bring it down to position 9, and we'll use 1 4 1 4, 1 3 1 3. And then 2 4, and then 1 4, 1 4 1 4, 1 3 1 3, 2 4 1 4, 1 E and a 2. Thanks for the likes, I appreciate it. Ooh, 2 E and a T E and a go E and a. Yeah, it is Happy Valentine's Day, isn't it, Mark? Good idea. Pay careful attention to that special person in your life, that Valentine. There we go. Still working on getting this one sort of like under my fingers. Like, feels like I'm playing position number 1 most of the time when I start this one. And then pattern number 4, what would we, so we had 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we have pattern number 5, which is going to be fingers 2 4 2 4 1 4 1 4 2 4 2 4. Only we'll start here in position number 9 and 2 4 2 4 1 4 1 4 2 4 2 4, and the tonic, whether we're playing major or minor, I'm looking at this being a minor pentatonic, so all right, so let's take a look at 2 4 2 4 1 4 1 4 2 4 2 4 root notes here and here. 1 E and a 2 E and a 10 12 go. I can't feel my fingers because it's 23 degrees here. Yeah, it's a little chilly up here too. I haven't found another synth plugin that brings the sauce like Rapture. What's the finger exercise you were doing on guitar called? I have a guitar so long but still suck at playing. Yeah, I know that feeling. I know that feeling. I'm familiar with that feeling, Gray. And but just sticking with it is the thing that makes all of the difference in the world for me, you know. Good call here, Lefty Madrid. Nice to see another lefty. So actually, YouTube is flipping my broadcast for some reason, and I'm not sure. I've notified them a couple times about it, and it's not changing. So I'll have to look into it a little bit more. But if you're here, if you're just tuning in, what we're doing is we're working on every weekday morning at 7:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. We are working together on a morning ritual for guitar growth. And the morning ritual for guitar growth consists of breathing work, tuning work, and then we get going on our mechanical work that we're doing now. And this is happening for free at least through the 2025, every weekday morning. So we are going to accumulate 260 hours of practice time, and it's going to bring wild gains to our guitar playing skill. So I would recommend, if you're here and you like what's going on, to come back, bring a guitar and join us, because what we're doing is accessible by beginner, intermediate, and advancing guitarists across the world, and we'll talk more about that. But it's every weekday morning at 7:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we'd love to have your company. The live chat is a real banger to be part of. And Jody, check out your stuff too. Yeah, absolutely. Code name, Big Daddy, just been shown by... Sure, pay attention to your Valentine today, friends. Yes. I would love to study music professionally. Some of my inspirations are Jack White, the B-52s, ABBA, and Leo Sayer. Oh, this is good. Lack of effort equals lack of results. You know what? I like that. I like that. Raoul to the rescue. No deposit, no return. I'm at school, but I'm right now, but I'm still enjoy watching. Oh, okay. I think school is l'école is the most important profession we could practice is education, right? That's it's a really important thing, really important place to be. And I hope you're getting out of your school what you need to be getting out of your school. I'm sure you are, because when the learner's ready, the teacher arrives, the teacher shows up, right? Can you play some Dire Straits? Yeah. You're the broadcaster on the right side. Maybe it's a mystical thing that our brains, maybe it's a, let's wonder about that. I'd like to have this corrected, you know. Yeah, it sounds like Gray's a newcomer. It sounds like Gray's going to be here for a while. Sounds like a $20 super chat, doesn't it, to me? Money for nothing. Even if it's mystical, it's annoying, right? Yeah. It can be. It can be. Faith, I have faith that it will be corrected. Yeah, I just found this stream randomly this morning and I have to go soon, but I subbed and we'll be back. Good idea. Good idea. We're glad to have you here for sure, for certain. And we're just going to wrap it up. We're getting ready to jump because we like to keep everything on time and tidy. One of the things that is so important now, I don't know if it's any more important than it ever has been, is time. And so I don't want to be encouraging one to squander the time that we have. So we're keeping this brief, you know, roughly an hour every morning. And I think that's pretty much where we're going to leave it today. So I wanted to mention that we are here on Monday. We'll be in a new location. We'll be in a parlor and we'll be rocking the guitar in a different situation. Next week, just so you all know, is strumming week. So what we are going to do is we're going to do all of the typical warm-up process that we do. And we're going to use electric guitars and acoustic guitars to practice our strum patterns with. We'll use the last quarter of the session because we still want to get the breath and the tuning and all of the warm-up stuff done. And then we're just going to use our warm-up period, part of our the last quarter of our warm-up period as where we're folding in strum patterns. And these are going to be like these strum patterns are designed to become camera ready. Do you know what I mean? Like, or record ready, record ready strum patterns are like super clean. You could walk into any studio in Nashville and lay these parts down and everybody would be happy with the parts that you're laying down. Do you know what I mean? So we're looking for super clean, super simple. It will be a little bit meditative. And again, it won't be for everybody, but we will get more, we'll drill down and get more complicated as the week progresses. And that's going to be next week. So strum patterns next week. And that will be a good thing whether you're, you know, playing in a Slayer cover band, a Pantera cover band, you know, a bluegrass cover band like a 𝗿𝗏 band, or whether you're playing in a country rock band or just like a Zeppelin band. You know, we're going to cover a range of potential here, right? And then see you later, Gray. Thanks for being here, man. Thanks, Mark, for being here. Thanks, thanks, Uncle Lefty. That's even better. That's even better. Robbie, that's perfect. Thanks for your time. Have a great weekend. I hope you all have a wonderful weekend, and let's stay guitar bent out there. You know, hope everyone has a good Valentine's Day. Absolutely. Jay Fritz, welcome. See you Monday morning, Jay. And Monday morning, every weekday morning at 7:30 a.m. Eastern Standard. If you're out there gigging this weekend, have wonderful gigs and wonderful musical experiences, and enjoy the weekend. We'll see you Monday morning at 7:30 a.m. Eastern Standard. And until we meet again, I think I'm going to beat Kevin to the punch. Oh, wait, yeah, right. We're actually going to be on time today. Let's see if we can terminate right at the 1 hour mark. And until next time, until we meet again, happy picking. All right, here we go. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2,